views and opinions on this podcast do not necessarily reflect those of the executive producer or the sponsors. They are those of the hosts and guests only. We believe freedom of conscience means the right to speak free, to think and believe as you will without the imposition of official coercive power over those beliefs. Liberty cannot exist when people are forced to conform their thoughts and expression to an official viewpoint. Differences of opinion are the natural byproducts of a vibrant, free society. Thank you. Live from Studio Diablo in Chicago, Illinois, this is e.Kaye Ultrasound.
Get with the countdown.
I speak jive.
Forget it, man. Blast off for Kicksville. Shake this square world. Blast off for Kicksville.
I speak jive.
Forget it, man. Get with the countdown.
I speak jive.
Forget it, man. Blast off for Kicksville. Shake this square world. Blast off for Kicksville.
Yeah, I don't know if you've ever been to Kentucky, but most of the population in Kentucky is addicted to Xanax. I don't know if you've ever been to Kentucky. I don't know if you've ever been to Kentucky. Kentucky.
Chaos Queen!
I honestly seen somebody comment on one of my mug shots, and they was like, "This is the Queen of Chaos. She's a menace to society," and I just love that.
It's hard to get arrested when you're on pot, right? Because you don't break any laws. Kentucky is filled with people on Xanax. Chaos Queen.
Kentucky. Yeah, you know, while I'd be in jail, I'd be like, okay, this is my last time going to jail. I really need to clean up my act. And then I would get out like a week later and commit another crime.
Chaos Queen.
I don't know if you've ever been to Kentucky. But I'm a server bartender, been a server bartender since I was like 16. I love it, honestly.
What got you to turn your life around?
Smoking weed.
You are amazing.
Smoking weed.
You are amazing.
Honestly, all of my jail visits were awesome because I was usually the youngest girl in the cell, so they treated me like a newbie. I don't know if you've ever been to Kentucky.
Chaos Queen. Chaos Queen.
Oh, yeah, the Queen of Chaos, my latest obsession, and our guest on this show, Dave, did that mix for me. Thank you.
Well, of course, it's all part of the service. Well, it's funny.
How entertaining. I mean, samples out of
I don't
her.
know if you ever been to Kentucky. But
Everybody's hooked on
yeah, I kind of
Xanax.
wrote it, so. Yeah.
Thanks for that, man. You've
yeah.
got some music we're going to play that's never been heard.
That's right, yeah. We did a whole bunch of remixes of Mercenary Notes Part 1, and we've been, just trickling them out every couple weeks of the video and stuff. But yeah, today I brought some that we haven't put out, that aren't out there yet.
How cool.
So.
And my dear friend Emily's back, Emily Sifrit from e.Kaye Designs.
I am.
And you two ended up working together.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, we.
How'd that happen? And what did you do?
She's looking at me like, well.
See, I don't
We
know
didn't
other
talk
than the
about
fact
this
that
before the
I don't
show.
know the specifics. I just know that you worked together and that you met at
Well,
this
it
show.
all started. Yeah, that's right. Well,
And it gets funnier. We'll get to the most ironic part of it in a minute. But go
Well, it
ahead.
all started because, we were talking about playing live, and Sean Payne, who, from Cyanotic, does Derision Cult stuff with me, and just glitch mode. We were talking about how we should have some sort of visual to the band, and since we talk a lot about, just the things we talk about in the songs, we kind of land on this idea. What if we all look like office workers that had been through like a explosion or something? And, then the question became, well, who do we know that would know how to bring that idea to life? And because it wouldn't be us. And, I remembered because Emily was on the show. And you've designed stuff for like LA Guns and stuff. And
No,
Not
no,
guns,
I
not
did.
yet.
Yeah, no, I do. I I have done his vests that are
Yeah.
yeah. No,
well, it worked
but I
out. I
have
was like,
some
well,
other,
she probably would like.
But I do work
understand what
with
we're
artists. Though.
describing.
Yeah, that is definitely something I do.
And so
work
then
with
I
artists.
reached out to Alex. Hey, is Emily still doing costume stuff? And you said, yeah.
And
So I
that's
did.
That's what I do. I send a lot of people your way, a lot of rock stars who want fashion, and some people
A lot of
just,
rock stars who want to look like they went through a nuclear
Well,
blast.
what was funny is that so he calls me and we kind of talk about the idea, and I could envision it very easily, but as soon as I started doing the actual project and the further I got into it, I felt it felt weird to take something that was business attire and completely trash it. and I was like, okay, so I really can't ruin this. And I kept looking back at the email that you had sent me, and like, I want to reference the keywords to make sure that I know that I'm doing this right. And I'm like, well, he did say, nuclear blast, and he did say this. And
that's a record label.
By the time I got
That's right. Ministry's on them now.
Oh,
right?
that's true. You're fucking right. Yeah, sorry. Go
That's
ahead.
funny. That's a funny segue there. But the point is that by the time I was bringing them to taking these outfits to him, I could barely breathe from the chemicals that I had applied to them, and I thought it looked very weird that this is something I feel like I should be throwing out, but instead it's the complete product. But so I was kind of prepared for you to tell me that you really did just throw it in the trash. And
No, we still have, well. So what we used them for is we shot a video with another
Pete
crazy
Berwick,
connection
who's
of
a
the
regular in my life.
galaxy,
I mean,
and,
when I met Emily, Pete Berwick was playing my 51st birthday party at the Looney Bin in Bradley.
Mm-hmm.
That's the night I met my good friend Emily.
cool.
Mm-hmm.
How fucking nuts is that? And then here you all are.
So we shot this video. We're still editing it, pulling it all together and everything for a track. And the band was supposed to look like exactly like I described,
Torn
which I
up.
came together. But then the scenes are of a guy who's kind of on this hamster wheel, just
losing his
sort
mind.
of a drunk and all this. And so we went to backstage.com and just started looking for actors. And originally we wanted to have someone look kind of like Ed Norton from Fight Club.
Right.
And Pete's headshot was one of the ones that came up. And Joel, the guy who directed it.
Oh, why did he do the pig face? No, where did
Yes.
I know? Yes.
Yeah, that guy.
That movie. I'm in it.
Yeah.
The free for all.
So,
Yeah, that's where I know him.
he's
Good
a
people.
That's
guy.
wild.
You should have him on sometime. But
Well, I'll be out here.
anyways, we can come on. But Joel brought up, he's looking at all these, like, this cat right here looks like a guy who looks like he's kind of had the shit beat out of him a little bit and by the ways of the world. And maybe we shouldn't have, like, some pretty guy. And, like, let's have somebody who looks a little grizzled. Because, like, in Pete's picture, he kind of looks like, he's kind of looking at, like, he looks like Nick Cave in the picture a little bit.
He's really good at playing a heavy.
Yeah, and he's so then we talked to him, and he put hey, reached out, said, hey, we think you might be good for this, and he had some emails back and forth about the concepts, and he was all into it, and within, like, that day, hey, you're friends with Alex from...
Well, I just did the parade with him marching for...
Well, he was just on this podcast not too long ago,
yes,
right?
so yeah.
And so I remembered the name, then... and then you shot me a note saying, "Oh, that's cool. You're working with Pete."
Dude, his music is fucking killer. And he's the last show I saw
Music,
live
cool
at Carol's
books, too.
during COVID. Right before they shut everything down, he had this band. It was a Johnny Cash tribute band.
Yeah.
And sold out. Like, sold out. But, I mean, you're dealing with a lot of people on stage. I'd like to see Pete with a three-piece. He's great by himself. But with that many people and doing a tribute and a lot of personalities, and he's a businessman when it comes down to it. And this comes down to I'm glad COVID happened. That's the last show they ever did. First show out that I saw the new revitalized Carol's. You haven't been there yet, have you?
No.
Carol's is wonderful. We'll talk about that in a minute or later. So, he is he's a punk rock. He's a punk country pioneer.
Yeah, cowpunk guy. Yeah,
Total, man, and totally embraced it.
He reminded me on the phone when I first talked to him. He has kind of his vocal, like, just how he talks reminds me a lot of Tommy Chong a little bit, like the way he
Really?
talks.
I guess
man, I was reading this. Oh, I could totally play a piece of shit. That's I get it.
I can
hear.
hear.
Dude, I got this look I give the camera. It's
totally
like, oh,
play
this
a
is
piece
gonna
of
be
shit.
awesome. And he came and he was so fun, and
There's nothing like
he just had so many stories of.
being. Oh God, being in a car
Oh
with
yeah,
him.
me and Johnny Paycheck used to.
Yeah, dude, Pete's played. I mean, his first novel is called The Bar Singer. You should read this. It's a really good book, and it's kind of a loosely autobiography. It's
And
what
there's
he
sort
played
of
bars in
Gonzo
Nashville.
style, like he
But-
write because he gave me The Boys. His
He
book.
is like, but
like
his
they're written like he's in the story a little
his
bit.
yeah, he's a Gonzo writer like Thompson.
Yeah.
But excuse me, his style, his creativity, this like, I have to compare it to William Burroughs. I mean, seriously, he thinks that's outwardly shit,
Yeah, he
crazy
did it.
science fiction fucking shit. It's
So-
like Lovecraft kind of shit.
Yeah.
And this guy is like the most normal family guy you've ever met. Beautiful wife, daughter, dog who passed away recently, and I love that dog. Pete and your family, I'm sorry for your loss. But I knew his daughter when she was like 14, and when she graduated high school, I was with Alicia Witt the night before, and Alicia Witt signed an album for her. The class of she was the class of 2016 or 17, I think. And I said, Megan, you are the class of this year. And they realized that Alicia Witt was on that show Nashville and all that. And
Sure.
so they're like, wow. And I still have the cards. Thank you. I save all my thank you cards. I don't get a lot of them. People don't thank me as enough as they should.
So we did. Yes, we
I was
shot a
about to
bunch of.
tiptoe around that comment right there. But
Hey,
instead, I won't tiptoe. I'll just send a thank you card.
has nothing to do with it to you.
We shot. So we shot those scenes, and yeah, the band we all had. And what's cool about the costumes Emily did is
Yeah, tell me about
just
that.
the way we lit everything. It sort of looks like one of those '90s "Don't Do Drugs" kids commercials, but
Oh,
you know,
I love it already.
And I mean that in a good way, like that's by intent. But we did it all at Spectrum Studios, which is down on Grand here
Were you
in
there?
Chicago.
No,
no,
I
Emily
was-
was. You were on
I
vacation.
was. We had left before that, so I was up by Canada at that point. But
Yeah, and so we did all that. We also got a Cyanotic shot a bunch of video that day too.
Sweet.
So we got a lot done.
Did
Get
you
all
say
you
were
can at
doing
once.
Were you doing a scene like under an overpass or something like that? Did you end up doing something
We
like
did.
that?
We ended up just doing photos with that. The
Got it.
actual band shots of the costumes
Did
are all in this.
Matthew Linwood ever get hold of you?
Yes.
Okay. Is anything happening with that?
I-
Okay, so I told you I'm working with Cleopatra tightly again,
Yeah.
right? And their publicist Raquel is just one of my favorite people ever, and he's like looking for somebody to do clothes. He has that rock star look, and he loves Elvis.
He is a trip to talk to. We have actually not had a phone conversation, but we've texted back and forth. He knows.
You haven't talked to him yet?
He knows. Well, texting isn't. We're getting to know each other a little well, so he knows fabric. He has a history of like
Oh, he's a sharp kid.
he. I guess he used to work, and I don't know if he. I don't want to say the wrong thing, so I don't want to get my memory wrong here. But it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be
This
a lot of fun
guy's
to put
friends
something
with
together
Bam
with him.
Majera.
Oh, right on.
Like good friends, really good friends, and
Like
you know,
I
I'm
feel
a
like
huge
he said he
jackass
grew
guy.
up in an old fabric store with like like an older lady who was kind of yelling at him about what to do and how to do it, like an independent shop. Like it just sounds really cool. So anyway,
His music is good, and if you get to do stuff for him, that'd be phenomenal because I know he's got the budget.
well, he's got the ideas. That's I
Right?
mean,
Isn't that something?
anything
having-
can be
Yeah.
anything can be created, but yeah.
Dave, thanks for coming back on,
Yeah.
man. You're always a
I'm like
blast.
an
to
old
have-
vet
You always
now.
bring.
I know where to park. I know your neighbors.
You're no Nick Huffman. Okay.
Did he know the neighbors?
Who? Nick?
Yeah.
They knew him. It was funny that Guns N' Roses played up the street the other day in that
Oh, at
100-degree
Wrigley?
heat.
Oh, that just happened?
Amy was there.
Thursday.
It's 101 degrees, and Amy was there, and I just felt. I mean, I don't go to see Guns N' Roses anymore for personal reasons, but I'm glad they're doing this thing, and but releasing one song after 30, 40 years.
Yeah, and it wasn't. It
is
was
not
like
enough.
a leftover from.
Did you hear that song? It's not that great.
Yeah.
I mean,
That absurd one that they did a couple years ago was kind of cool, but I'm yeah, it's
yeah,
it wasn't- I'm shaking my head. I know this is on audio, but
For those of you at home.
I mean, I am with you. I mean, it's cool. Like my kids are kind of getting into Appetite for Destruction songs, and I could see where it'd be fun to take your kind of like what Kiss
Dude,
has.
but you can't recreate that whole period of time,
especially in
when that came out.
Wrigleyville with 80,000.
But those people like us were waiting for an album like that, and that album came out when all these pretty boy bands were doing LA, and they just came out like, we're druggies and alcoholics and bad boys and tattoos and fuck you. And there's a lot of fuck yous in that first record.
Yeah.
What a great record. Holy shit. Emily?
But they're, well,
you've hung out with one of the
laughing about
members.
everything.
You've hung out with Dizzy Reed.
Yes.
You were here one day before you and Nick went.
Yeah, I've met Dizzy a few
the
times when we
keyboard
did.
guy?
Yeah.
And he's played the Lonely Men.
Oh, right
a couple
on.
of times, and then we did a few months. Well, I think it would have been January or February last year. He was on a podcast with Nick and Brandon Mendenhall and some other.
So
one
in
other
2
guy, I don't
weeks,
remember. They were all
Danzig's
in there.
coming.
Yeah,
And
you
I'm
mentioned.
gonna take I'm gonna take Steve Zing and Tommy Victor to eat Lucy's chicken.
Lucy's.
Yes.
Oh, we just talked about Lucy's when we were here a couple
Right.
weeks ago.
And
Lucy's is great.
unfortunately, Johnny Kelly is not playing drums on this tour because he's with this band Kill Devil Hill, and Raquel works all these bands. She's just the most amazing chicken. She doesn't wear a bustle.
Oh, Raquel, the PR one?
Yeah,
I actually been exchanging emails with her.
she is the best. I mean, I've worked with publicists my entire career, pushing 40 years
What
on
is
that.
up with you and this gravitational pull of people that I always end up talking to?
I've been in the business a long time, man. I'm an old
the
dude here.
force.
Thank God for hair dye, or Satan or whoever I want to thank for that. But you haven't had
lying
Lucy's
God
chicken
thing.
yet, have you?
No, I was as you were
Man.
talking about it. What's the story? But it's like a Nashville style thing, or
Well, it's a Chicago thing, and I know about Nashville Hot, and I was turned on that through our friend Nick Hoffman, and I think that
I'll tell you
did
what.
I have
though,
that conversation with you or his mom about Nashville Hot?
his mom.
Okay, this is how much I love hot food. So, but yeah, Lucy's is the bomb.
Lucy's does feel a bit like a transplant, though. I understand it's a Chicago thing, but
Yeah,
it does feel.
transplant.
Oh,
It feel like you're in.
we're
there
not
and
known
you
for a
feel-
barbecue here.
It feels like
southern.
Okay.
It feels like
It's
you slipped
totally
into
southern.
a different city real quick, but it's delicious, well
is
made.
50-50 still going?
Is
Wicker
what?
Park? Wasn't that place 50-50? They had like a dry rub.
After
Okay.
COVID, everything kind of. I mean,
didn't make
there's some
it.
places I wanted to eat that I didn't get to go to. Landbirds, which Adam Beckford turned me on to, closed down before I could get there. And now El Palmar's closing down.
No,
They're turning this into a parking garage and shit.
that's beautiful. Sarcasm.
Yeah.
Sarcasm.
Well, hopefully I'll be gone by then. But let's get into your songs, man. And we got a lot to talk
Sure.
about. We have a lot to talk about. But I want to talk about our trip to Kankakee. By the
Okay.
way. But the first song we're going to play is a Life Unit, a remix, and Jim Marcus, a mutual
Life
friend.
Unlit, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What did I call it? Life Unit? I'm looking at the thing here.
That sounds like a thing you have to get
You know what's-
installed in you
you know
after
what's-
your heart gives out.
Here's something really funny. I was going camping some
quick.
years back with Greg Duncan, and we were playing. He had a rental car in Ozzy's Boneyard on Sirius, and the screen can only say so many letters of a song, and I had to take my phone out and take a picture of it because he's very, very left, very, very, very liberal, and it said White Snake, Stool of the Nig. I'm like, no way, this just did not happen. I had to take a picture of it. I still have in my last trip up there, I was telling my friend, rented a car. I'm like, man, the last time I was here in the car, rental car, still the Nig.
I think, did you post that on Facebook?
Yeah,
think I
of
remember
course I
seeing
did.
it. Yeah.
I wait for any minute like that would make somebody uncomfortable. So I said the title of your song wrong. So go ahead and set this up.
Oh yeah, Life Unlit. So this is a remix by Go Fight here in Chicago. That
Die Warsaw guy.
That's
Jim
right,
Marcus.
Jim Marcus from Die Warsaw. He's
Wax Tracks
That's
alumni?
Right. He's done all the artwork for Derision Cult, our logo and everything.
Oh, really? I did not know that.
Yeah, no, that's He's a wonderful, wonderful man, but he did a killer mix for us.
Well, let's hear this, and we'll come right back on the MK Ultra Sub podcast. Oh yeah, Derision Cult. You've never heard this anywhere else except for here.
That's
you.
right.
Thanks, dude. Thank you, Emily. We saw each other 2 weeks ago because you took me all the way to Kankakee for soft serve ice cream.
Among other things.
No, we went down to Nick Huffman's prayer service, which
Sure.
for some reason didn't happen after his death.
Well, I mean, you want the short version or the long version of the story?
Give us Cliff's note.
I don't know how to give the Cliff's notes. So last June, would have been the funeral, and we had his funeral. His services were 100%. The best way I could say is custom, personal, genuine. Nothing was hired. Everything was done by a friend of his. Any speech was done. Every part of the entire service was done by somebody that knew Nick, that had a personal connection with Nick. The thing that we had been missing at the service was the Pastor Dixon, who was the pastor of the church that Nick listened to, Facebook church service lives.
I paid attention.
Morning.
I know.
Okay,
that was nice.
So Pastor Dixon was not able to be there at the service. We did have prayer at the service at the funeral home. We did, there was a full, beautiful funeral, but there was not a pastor present. So at the cemetery, we didn't think about it because the funeral itself was like a damn show. We didn't think about it till it was. I mean, it was top to bottom. It was beautiful, and it was full of fun. Honestly, it was comedy. There was tears. There was music. It was everything. Anyway, at the cemetery, we didn't realize until we're standing there that the only person to say a word was really the funeral director, and it's not really his place to say much of anything other than here's what we're here for and bow your heads. So the interesting thing is that day we handed Beans, famous Beans, who's one of Nick's closest friends.
She's a psychiatrist who's been on my show.
She's
right
yeah.
And I saw Megan with her in January.
cool.
Megan came out.
She's amazing.
She's a great
wonderful
person.
It's hilarious to me that the two of them were as best of friends as they are. Because
Can you believe any of us are friends?
she's a trauma therapist and he's full of trauma. He makes
They're
trauma.
always good to have around.
So anyway, we hand her one of the pamphlets, that they have at the service, and on the back of it was Nick's favorite poem was Invictus.
Right.
So on the back of it is Invictus, and so I kind of nudge her, whisper to her in her ear, Beans, can you hold it together enough? Can you speak? Can you say something? Can you read something? And she looked down at me and she said, yes, nodded solemnly, yes, I can. Okay, hand her this thing. She goes up there, she lays her hand on the casket and she recites Invictus. That was how we took care of the service. A year later,
2 weeks ago.
Mama's still feeling like we need to close this out. We need to let him rest in his grave. But the interesting thing, so we did the service. That was what was 2 weeks ago. However, I will say we didn't know till after the funeral service. Beans texted me. She said, I didn't want to say anything at the time because in case I was wrong, but she sent me a screenshot. She had forgotten. She had been ordained since 2013 because she married some friends of hers. So while we're all like, oh my gosh, we haven't had closure.
Sorry.
You get what I'm saying. The punchline is there is that she actually was she's an ordained minister and she had
As
a hand
I am.
over his casket and
I'm also.
spoke him to the ground. Anyway.
I love that girl. It was so cool going to see Megan when it came out in January with somebody as nerdy as me. Because
I remember you talking about that movie.
Dude.
That's the one with the doll?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We leave it at that. I was gonna. So Emily, on our journey down there, she takes me through where she's from, where she lives, where she grew up.
Hometown, yeah. It's always
I
wanted
got
to
to
go
see
there.
her
South.
studio from the outside, but then I see this giant ice cream cone. Oh my God! So I've been dying for soft serve. Well, we have one around here. It's Dairy Queen, but it's in Wrigleyville, and every time I want to go, there's a fucking Cubs game. I'm not going to go to these buttholes.
So instead of going 3 blocks for a Wrigleyville ice cream cone, he would go an hour and a half down to a small town, mile by mile.
But did I enjoy it? Could you tell how happy?
Yeah, he was happy.
It was like,
Betty Boop themed.
oh gosh,
walls
that was
and it was
amazing, man. And but to see your studio from the outside, I can't wait to come down there and see it from the inside. From the outside, I just saw dress forms.
Sure.
Because I've dated fashion people before, so I know what that is. And those things aren't cheap.
You're in a bunch of bombed out office clothes. You're like the 4th guy this week.
I had to scrub my countertop off after that.
It'll be cool.
So I was telling Emily because we're both big Tombstone fans.
Tombstone, the pizza.
The movie. Oh, Jesus
lazy if you
Lord
do.
Almighty. Blasphemer.
Hey,
So I'm talking to her about watching Deadwood. Have you seen Deadwood?
you know, I never got into that, but I
So,
know what it is.
Lemmy was in it. Scott Ian was in it. And Patrick Stone from Butterside was in it. They played like background roles.
Oh, that's cool.
So you haven't started yet? Because I thought about you a lot
I
at
have
the
not.
movie. So there's 3 seasons. HBO is really good at this shit. Dude, it's like Sopranos, all that.
Sure.
This is up there. And I'm looking at, they had to recreate these years after the Civil War. And the clothes, I'm like, oh my gosh, she's going to love this. So by the end of the 3rd season, and then they made a movie, which is 10 years after.
Okay.
And all the outfits, I saw, because everybody had money now. Nobody was a bum. Nobody was starving and stealing and raping and killing. I'm like, Emily's going to love this. But what I want to know is, after you watch it, who my favorite characters were. The one male and the one female character.
You want me to guess them?
After you see it.
All right.
I think it'll be easy on the male to guess which was my favorite. Because at first, I hated the guy. And I ended up loving him because he ends up having a real heart.
Well, thanks for all the...
And the woman...
I was gonna say, I thought you were
was
going to
just
be
gonna
like,
say-
oh, well, then he did a wife swap, and he...
No, you know what? Pete Berwick was in Wife Swap, the TV show. You know
Oh,
that?
serious? No.
Huge. Sometimes with a headline on him.
That doesn't surprise me.
He was on Wife Swap, and he lived with a black family, and a black guy moved in with his family. And it's hysterical because I guess this chick like locked up his guitar so he couldn't play it.
Dude, that guy, like...
Wife-
Well, the most mind-blowing thing is he told me he was in a band with Johnny Paycheck. Or he'd played with him, and yeah, I knew that. Oh, he's real short. He's dead now, though.
That's
like,
Pete.
Dude, like, because I love Johnny
So
Paycheck.
I just want to, before we get into your next couple songs, I want to play you some of the swears from Deadwood. Are you ready for
Okay,
this?
yeah.
They say cocksucker a lot, so here we go.
Well, that's a good one.
Cocksucker. Cocksuckers. Cocksucker. Cocksuckers. Cocksuckers. Cocksuckers is cocksuckers. 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 Cocksuckers.
That's a fine cocksucking, Alex.
Cocksucker. 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 Cocksuckers. Cocksucker. Cocksucker. The cocksuckers. Cocksuckers. Cocksucker. Cocksuckers. Cocksuckers. Cocksucker. Cocksuckers. Cocksuckers.
Cocksucker.
Cocksucker. Cocksucker.
Cocksucker. Cocksucker, Bill.
Cocksucker. Cocksuckers. 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 Cocksucker. Cocksucker and cocksucker. 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 Cocksuckers.
Cocksucker.
Cocksucker. Cocksucker. Cocksucker.
This is all from Deadwood.
Just gonna say, get me to the
Now,
30
do
second
you
mark.
think that was really a
Let it
turn?
go. Let it go.
No, it gets better.
Cocksuckers. Cocksuckers. Cocksuckers.
Wait for the punchline.
Cocksuckers.
Cocksucker.
Cocksuckers. Cocksuckers and cocksuckers. Cocksucker and cocksucker.
Cocksucker.
Cocksucker. Cocksucker. Cocksuckers. Cocksucker.
That's Wu.
Cocksucker.
No.
Cocksuckers.
Chinese.
This take place in Boston.
Cocksuckers.
Something.
Cocksuckers. Cocksuckers. Cocksucker. Cocksuckers.
Because I've been to South
They got a
Dakota.
special rate with the studio to be able to let that one miss as many times as they could.
Cocksucker. Cocksuckers. Suckers. Cocksucker. Cocksucker. Cocksuckers. Cocksuckers. Cocksucker. 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 Cocksuckers. Cocksucker.
How long did you have to look to get this clip?
Cocksucker. Cocksucker.
Take you a while.
I got to bed about 3 last night.
I have good friends
Cocksuckers.
like him.
Well,
Picture you spending a day at a
I wonder if
library.
was that even an insult they would have had back in then, or they've called each other some weird, antiquated, you scallywag.
Yeah.
Cocksucker. 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 Cocksucker.
You old pirate, you.
There's piano in there.
Cocksucker. Cocksuckers. Cocksucker.
Emily would pick up on the piano, of course.
Anything.
Cocksucker. Cocksucker.
You know what? I'm gonna go home and Google what the best insults were in the Old West, like what they actually called each other. Maybe they did.
No, that's a lot of people brought that up.
I just found out
They're still going.
cooties was that's originally what they called lice. Learned that documentary last night.
I feel like I learned that as a kid.
He's talking about kids, so that's where the game came from. Is basically the kid has lice.
They're still going.
We're so aware. I started
The
following
remainder of this podcast will
Cocksuckers!
the white noise in the background will be from Deadwood.
There's some samples for you.
Oh yeah.
There is a favorite quote of mine from this series.
You were gonna let this play the whole way through.
It's almost done.
5 minutes later.
You were gonna be quiet for that whole thing.
Can you imagine if someone tuned into your podcast and like in the middle of it?
They'll
that's
love
like-
it.
Maybe you don't know your friends as well as you think you do.
Well, I don't know what the deal is with Alex, but 5 minutes.
checked in on
I
Alex
listened
lately or
to
something?
him
Motherfucking
I'm
cocksucker.
worried about
It
that
just
guy.
sounds like a bunch of Asian people saying cocksucker.
One Asian. Don't be fucking
From
racist.
Kentucky, yeah.
There's only one.
This is it. If Alex moved his podcast to Boston, this would be.
Cocksuckers.
Cocksuckers.
Cocksuckers and cocksucker.
Cocksucker.
I think.
Can you tell who the Asian
I like
was?
how you like get like impressed by, oh, that was a good one. Dude, they're just saying cocksucker
I
over
can
and over.
tell you.
Curve on it.
I can tell you who said that cocksucker. Like you can tell that the woo.
Oh wait,
the
is this
Asian
gonna
did-
be? Is that gonna be how Emily tells you your favorite character is? Well, that
Yep.
guy says cocksucker like he means it.
Everybody says Calamity Jane. It's all like
Calamity
based.
Jane, she's in it.
Oh
that's a real
gosh,
person.
she said a lot. Cocksucker says her. Yeah, she said. Oh God, I had told you because you love Tombstone. This is like that with a lot of cocksucking. Like, so don't watch it with your kids, but it is good,
Thank you
and
for
you'll
telling me
appreciate
that.
it for the attire, the clothes, the fashion they put into it, the realistic, the mud, and even the structures that they built.
The mud.
Reference to Tombstone.
I
one
tore
of my
some of your pants through a mud puddle before I brought them to
Sweet.
you.
Mine
one of my
or
best
his?
friends
No, yours.
growing up was it had been his great uncles were the McClowry brothers.
Oh,
You know, they were part of the Cochise Cowboys, the gang that they were like the famous. I forget who plays them in Tombstone, but anyways,
I grew up.
Those
They have
are
Wyatt
his-
Earp and Morgan in it. They're not quite as cool as they were in Tombstone, but they do show up because it's all based on real people. Wild Bill Hickok, they show his murder. Hey, it's a good series. It's
no, I
considered
remember
the
when
best,
it was
best
out.
writing.
I remember. I just
No, it took me a
people
long time.
loved it that I knew that like good stuff because you always have those friends who just like really shitty TV and my friends that
I have a
like
couple,
that weren't.
but most of my friends are geeks who love this kind of shit. So I just had to get you ready for that. So I thought about you when I ended up watching
That's
the movie.
so thoughtful of you.
The movie last night. No, when I watched it, Emily,
I'm a little lost on
you're
your
gonna
use of the
love.
word geek,
You're
though.
gonna love the fashion in this. It's so
I might.
right to the fucking decade. They get it. The timeline of the clothes are perfect.
There's no one wearing Chuck Taylors in it or anything.
Some of my favorite movies, though, that I like that the Mount of Monte Cristo. I love the historical aspect of the fashion in
Right.
that movie. What's another one? The Three Musketeers. I like looking at
Oh
that
God,
stuff.
that's good.
There's a movie with Kate Winslet in it called The Dressmaker. It's set. It's a period type piece, but it's very like it's dark. It's like Edgar Allan Poe-ish dark. There's like
Well, that's cool.
murders all the way through it. It's very, I don't know. It's
Kate
interesting.
Winslet, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's
It's
kind
like
of good looking.
Amazon
She did.
original.
Yeah, she was on a show. It's the Mayor of Easton. Is that right?
Don't know.
She
that
plays like
one.
this cop, and it's really good.
She's-
She plays against type too. Like she's a rough, grizzled. You know.
Awesome.
I like her ability to get lost in it.
Yeah, we're watching Goliath right now with Billy Bob Thornton.
Oh,
That's awesome.
dude, I've seen them all. Yeah, that
We're on the 4th season.
he
right now.
said of all the he's in my top 5 favorite actors.
Yeah.
He said the characters he's played that were closest to home to him as a human is that and Bad Santa.
Well, they're kind of the same. They're very similar.
Right? Very
I
similar.
could play a piece of shit.
Oh my God! And how about the characters of that? The prostitute and all that shit. Goliath is really, and he's like the underdog, which is what I love.
My dad because my folks watch it. My dad said he made me see. He's like, you just gotta watch like the first half hour and you'll be hooked. And
Yep.
he's right. Like it takes right off.
And the whole shit with him and his daughter, and
Yeah.
what a fucking great. I think it only went 4 seasons.
So that's our binge watching show right now.
But he doesn't always win. That's what I love.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the season, he doesn't always win. And that's what's realistic about it, which is why I love it. So getting back to what I love of your music is, the next song we're going to do is...
Look at that clever transition.
What's Slatter Mix mean of Year Hope Failed?
Slider is that's a buddy of mine, Cameron, out on the East Coast, but they did a remix of our track, The Year Hope Failed, and that's going to go live on Spotify this Thursday, so this is like way before the preview of the preview, but yeah, this turned out awesome. Really, Slider does awesome stuff.
You know what, man, and we're going to get a lot of plays on this since this is, we have a lot of friends in media in the same world that we work in, especially our friend Ilker. Good man. So I am very, very thankful that you're letting me play these songs for the very first time. So,
well, Ilker did he debuted the Assemblage 23 mix of this on Regen.
He's been a good friend to me. Very good friend to me.
Yeah, he's a
all right, here we go on the M Culture Sub Podcast.
Jesse Jackson. Jesse.
Jesse Hunt's my drummer. Maybe that's a cool little reference.
Jesse.
This is for Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Jesse.
I see a theme.
Walt always yelled, Jesse!
I liked when Jesse. You should do one of these where it's Jesse going, seriously?
Fun guns rule.
Seriously?
Bitch! No, I should do one. Bitch! Bitch! Yeah, I got a lot of time on my hands. No, the true fact of this is I have good friends, and you're one of them who do these things for me.
Yeah.
So thank you very much, Dave. I greatly appreciate it.
Jesse!
Maybe
the listener doesn't enjoy it as much as I
Jesse
do.
comps are well. How do you do this? Like,
Jesse
they actually
Pinkman.
sat there and listened to.
Record that. No, you go on YouTube. It's already there.
Oh,
Hey
I
Google,
see.
like every time like Walt says Jesse.
Well, somebody at some point did that.
Yeah.
Like, actually.
Yeah. And they probably comment on Blabbermouth a lot. Whoever
Yeah,
does that.
right. Well, I talk shit about Blabbermouth and look for people saying the. Yeah, I'll get a job at some point.
I got some good shit to talk about, but I would like to get to the next song, if that's okay.
Absolutely.
My birthday thing's coming up, and I'm taking it back to Nuclearis for the first time since 2016 when I was.
right.
No, 2015. But I used to go there every year for my birthday. We'll talk about that in a bit. But all right, so let me pull my notes here. Your next tune, is it the? No, we played Slider Mix, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
It's time for Death Blood, Stabbing West. By the way,
Yeah.
our friend Anya is on tour with them.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, how about that?
Actually, Joel, the guy who shot the Slaves videos out there filming all that. Too.
And then she's going to be staying at our producer of the show's house in New Orleans when she plays there for that festival.
Was that going on now?
No, it's October.
Oh, okay. There's something going on in New Orleans.
She's
cool.
Man, you talk about a great performer. And I mean, her shit is good. The music is great. Her visuals are amazing. And the fact that she could do that by herself
Yeah.
blows my fucking mind.
Anytime she comes up, I always. So she used to live in Waterloo, Iowa before she moved to Chicago, which is where me and then Dan Milligan from the Joy Thieves are from, too.
That's funny.
Like, what a weird,
Well,
odd coincidence.
Yeah.
to make it funnier, when I first had her on the show and I realized she was from Poland, I showed her a picture of my friend, a musician in Pittsburgh who's from Poland, who I worked with my entire career since '93. She's like, "Oh, I haven't met him, but we're from the same town." So we did a podcast the day that Pritzker shut everything down in 2020, March.
Mm-hmm.
He called in, and she's like, "Oh my god, you should hear.
That's cool.
You should watch the show. It's on video,
Yeah.
and they're talking Polish, and it's hysterical. She's like, because you know her energy,
Yeah.
She's a ball of fire, man.
Interesting.
She used to have a band called Burning Eve that a bunch of people I used to be in a band with were in.
I've seen or heard something of that, probably because Alex sent it my way.
I swear, Chicago is like the smallest, biggest town ever. Or
Well-
the biggest small town ever. Like,
You should have seen it in the
Jesus.
'90s, man, when Wax Tracks
That's a great
and
way to put
Invisible
that.
was still going on. And I moved here. I would go to the grocery store. I'd see Al Jorgensen. I'd go to the hardware store, Rich Patrick and Gino, Groovy or Frankie for Thrill Cold. We
Sure.
all lived on the west side over there of Wicker Park, not west side. But I mean, it was amazing. Amazing. It's like, that's why I moved here. Now it's gone. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm glad I met you and this whole new wave of industrial music, but
Seems
Just gotta
like
roll with
that's
the
happening.
change. Things are changing, but
eh,
he says, or I could go move to the suburbs. He might move to the suburbs.
well, I am. So, but that's that.
Where are you going? St. Charles?
Yeah,
Well, you're west of me.
Amy was out there last night because I introduced her to the promoter out there,
There's that Arcadia Theater. out
Arcata.
there?
Yeah, and he also owns the Displays
That's a
Theater.
sweet little venue, man.
And this thing is, like think about it is
Downtown St. Charles is cool.
he has bands 7 nights a week, and I will have I'm going to build a studio. It's either going to be in a basement or garage for this podcast, so it's not my eating area. I want to have dinner and not have to tear everything down and put it back up. I mean, it sounds simple, but it's a pain in the ass.
Sure.
Ultimately, every time I want to have
get it.
friends over. But there, the Arcata, I can have Ted Nugent on. Ted Nugent doesn't. The city won't have Ted Nugent. They won't have Andrew Dice Clay. They play there all the time. I can have Dice on. I mean, can you imagine that?
Nuge plays Arcata. He seems kind of big for that, isn't he?
They don't book him in Chicago.
Yeah, but I mean, can Ted? He
Dude,
seems almost like
all these guys. I mean, that's where I see LA Guns, Fetch Pussycat,
Yeah.
Cinderella. Everybody they play there. And in this,
Enough's Enough was just out at Brower House.
Yeah,
they play out west. They play Arcata too a lot.
They play Looney Bin.
They
yeah.
have.
Yeah.
Tori's a buddy of mine. Another Waterloo guy.
Huh.
Tori Stoffragen from Enough's
Dude,
Enough.
I
he's
love
a killer player too.
I love Iowa. I mean, I can't believe it was hilly and as beautiful as it is, and parks and rivers, and I did not know until I went
It's
and hung
more
out
than a
there.
coincidence. That's more than a coincidence. There's got to be a few areas of the because if you say that, then I think about a few other spots that are on the East Coast.
Oh, yeah.
where like a huge grouping of some sort of artist, whether it be just visual arts or music. But there's an area where a lot of people are bred from this spot, and then they travel. But like as you say that, it clicks in my
It's
mind
so funny.
that I can think of like 2 or 3 other places. That's interesting. It makes you think that.
Lamb of God's for the Carolinas.
That's exactly
believe
what I
that?
was just
I mean,
thinking
you
about.
would never think that.
That's
I thought
exactly what I was
they're
just
from
thinking of.
the same town Guar's from, aren't they? Aren't they
So
all from
doesn't it make
Richmond?
you
I
think
thought
there's got to be
Guar
some
was from
like
Virginia.
Yeah, yeah.
pulse point in these places?
Them and Jerry Falwell, all coming from
No
Richmond
pun
there.
intended.
Well, Athens, Georgia, man. I mean, tiny little town.
It's funny. One of the targets what I do for my day job is Shreveport, and I used to before email, back and forth with Swaggart, and we had a war.
Jimmy Swaggart?
When I started
Did you
working
send him money?
fuck no, I didn't.
Otherwise, I'm gonna cheat on my wife.
But he sent
need
me
the Lord.
He sent me shit that earned me a lot of money on fucking eBay back in the day. So I'm fighting with him, and because that's what I was.
Wait, he sent you a thing you sold on eBay?
Dude, a ton of shit. All his literature, but we got into it because
one of his coats. Or
I was working
grill
with
cream or
I was
something.
working with Jello Biafra for the No More Censorship Defense Fund, and I got an evil letter from his church.
Sweet.
And it was kind of great because then he sent me this little booklet. It had Steve Harris from Iron Maiden on the cover. It said "Rock and Roll: The New Pornography." Okay, I wish I still had it. But all this literature that came with it, and then when he got busted, not once but twice with prostitutes, like, okay,
He'd cry.
you have a thing with pornography, dude.
Yeah.
And that it was one of the most. I wish I was publishing back then, and I wasn't writing
So when
for
was
any
that?
magazine.
Like 89, 90 when that all went down?
At 87, man.
Jessica Hahn, wasn't that the girl?
No, she was Jim Baker.
Oh, okay.
That's awesome one too. And Tammy Faye Baker, which I don't know if you know my story about me and her and Ron Jeremy, but it's a good one.
One time, Tammy, that's like the most random. Tammy Faye, and Ron
Dude,
Jeremy
I'm not
were on the
even-
Indy 500. And
I'm not even making a joke. It's one of my finest
The
moments
truth is funnier than any
because I
joke
was
you
on.
could
I did it
make.
on a television show.
Oh. I was gonna.
Tammy Faye Baker, God, I feel fucking.
I'm just never surprised anymore, but I do sit every once in a while and say my thank yous that the truth is there. So fucking entertaining.
Isn't he? He was like buddies with her though, wasn't he? Wasn't there a story like that? Like Ron
Yeah, well,
Jeremy's
they were on
friends
a
with-
reality show together,
and they end up becoming friends.
very good.
Yeah.
The most. This is the beauty of it. They're the most unlikely friends, and you would never figure it.
What's up, Tom Morello and Ted Nugent?
They
I like
probably
that.
put them all in that room to expect some friction, and it was like it's like Ron Jeremy and Eric Estrada were like the dads, and everybody else were fuck ups, druggies, and horny and shit, you know. And what's Todd? Who played
on
Different Strokes?
Yeah.
He was in it, and then they went to where a place where Gary Coleman was flipping burgers. That's how bad it got for him. And they went to this restaurant or something. I might be off a little bit. They tried to get him to say, "What you doing, Willis?"
I bet he loves
and
that.
He wouldn't do it. He wouldn't do it. He was pissed.
Yeah.
But
That's
I can imagine.
But it was like, can you imagine being a house on a reality show where the people with the most morals and the dads are Eric Estrada and Ron Jeremy. So Ron and Timmy Faye Baker became very good friends. So I went on this television show at a porn convention, and Max was there, and it's the third day into a 3-day porn fest, and by then I'm way xandered, and Max will describe it better than I can. He's like, you went up there, you went on television, you went from this Alex to sharp, and I'm like, Ron sees me coming, he goes, oh no, and I'm like, I want to talk to you about Timmy Faye Baker, and he says to me, nobody's ever talked to me about this. And it was a really good interview. I don't want to talk about sex or him sucking his own dick or any of that shit. I wanted to talk about real life shit. And it struck a chord in everybody.
Cool.
Because a lot of people didn't see that show and they would never figure that. And that's what I love about irony and celebrity is the people, on the same way, there's some people I'm friends with I never thought I'd ever get along with. And those people have been my really good friends. It's crazy. I mean, you're in this rock and roll world. I mean, we meet a lot of characters.
Yeah.
That's a good word for it.
What's that?
Characters.
Yeah. But who is really going to ride it out and be responsible and whatever? I call responsibility. It's me. But true. So do we owe you one more song or are we done?
Well, we have the Stabbing Westward
Death Blood?
mix. Yeah.
And here we go on the M Couch Sub Podcast.
Most of us, if you're like me, at least, I'm kind of addicted to it when I try to like just because it obsesses me. And it wasn't until after I got out of the wrestling business and I retired.
Every great day starts with a cup of get the fuck out of bed coffee from Martin Atkins and Dark Matter Coffee. Go to darkmattercoffee.com. Look for the big red logo that says get the fuck out of bed. America runs on damage, and it all starts with a cup of get the fuck out of bed coffee. There are 10 commandments and there are 7 deadly sins, but there is only one MK Ultra Magazine. Visit us daily online at www.mkultramagazine.com for entertainment news, reviews, and interviews. mkultramagazine.com, home of Alexander's Diary of a Damned Man. That's mkultramagazine.com.
All right, it's that time of the week. Kids, it's time for Kiss Trivia. And you're listening to the Against Stop podcast. And this is the part I stole this from Eddie Trunk.
Yeah.
Stump the trunk.
Stumped the
Big
trunk.
time, man.
So what are you going to do when Kiss retires? You going to find another band?
No, I'll keep doing this forever because there's like a lot of things in there.
No, I know a lot about Kiss.
Too much, actually. So, Emily, God, I'll let you start. And you probably don't even know one Kiss song, do you?
Hey.
What's your favorite Kiss song?
How many? This is about you, Alex.
What, the question or the song?
What is Bruce Kulick's birthday?
Same as mine, 12/12/64.
It's not 64.
Also, no. 12/12, December 12th. But also
But it's not 64. Get the year.
No. I can't get it. Let me before you hit me. Also, who we lost this week, Bob Barker. His birthday's the same birthday as me. So is 12/12 good enough, or do I lose?
I like that meme where it's Bob Barker went as close as he could to
Well,
a
'cause you
dollar
brought
without
up
going
death.
over.
Dude, I grew up with Bob Barker, man. He had a show before Price is Right called Truth or Consequences.
Yeah.
That says how old I am. And I remember one time he was paddling down a river in like 1972 or something, and Colonel Sanders put him down a fucking bucket of chicken into a rowboat. Hey, you're up.
Oh, I was picking ones.
He was
like
smoking.
Some of these,
He's never smoking crack.
No,
Oh my
dude. Some of these, I'm like, well, of course he's gonna know that one.
Right. Don't give me an easy one.
Oh, I don't know this. Where was Mark St. John born? Oh,
I know what I want to say, but I'm just gonna say city because I have to say something. Flushing, New York.
Hollywood, California.
Go figure.
Far off. Not far off.
Now, see the reason because the one right out before it, which if you didn't know this,
What was the one before that?
In 1977, a rumor started that the name KISS stood for what service?
Oh, two Knights in Satan's Service or Kids in Satan's Service?
Knights in Satan's
Yeah,
Service,
both,
the one I always heard.
Yeah, you're up.
All right. When and where did Gene Simmons accidentally set his hair on fire for the first time? I like that it clarifies that.
First time. I know those first Kiss gigs very well. Coventry on Long Island?
December 31st, 74 at the Academy of Music.
Oh, and they were opening for Blue Oyster Cult.
Oh,
who
really?
ended up opening for them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dude, I talked about Blue Oyster Cult about that. That was a fun conversation.
Yeah.
Cool.
I do
go
love,
on.
I love Blue Oyster Cult. I fucking love that.
You were thinking, you thought Ghost has a bit of a Blue Oyster Cult vibe? I hear
Big
Journey
time.
a lot in Ghost. So I think of Blue Oyster Cult, I think like Godzilla and Don't Fear the Reaper and stuff
But
like
you
that.
only know the hits. I listen to all the shit, man. Blue Oyster Cult. No, when I was with Mortis on this show, we filmed it in the basement at Reggie's, and I said, they're both from Sweden.
Yeah.
And I said, you listen to Ghost. He goes, no, but what I hear, they sound like a lot like Blue Oyster Cult. I'm like, also, Mortis is a big Kiss fan, so we get that.
Sure.
I mean, he's a lot older than us than you. So.
See, I saw Ghost a couple weeks ago here in Chicago.
Right.
And I know like that Square Hammer song, but my buddy's a huge fan.
Oh, that's a very poppy song.
I heard Journey. To me, this was like an amped up version, which not a bad thing. And I thought it was interesting too. Their draws, like early
Metal.
20s, late teens.
Dude, but here's the thing.
So it's interesting
But
that, these kids are rocking on Journey
metal
type
bands
stuff.
love them. I don't think Ghost is metal at all.
No, not at all.
No, but
A Monomarth sure as shit is. And they
yeah,
haven't.
I'm so glad you got to see them. So they got to put their stage up, right?
Yes, with the big
Oh,
statues.
fucking, that's beautiful. Only
big
Ghost
fucking Vikings.
would let an opening band do something like
Yeah,
that.
right? That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah,
I
very.
mean, Ghost,
Yeah, well,
has
they're
the
great
very
guys.
elaborate set
All right.
themselves.
Go ahead.
All right, I'm curious because I don't know the answer to this. What was the first Kiss song Ace Frehley played a lead guitar on?
Oh fuck. Oh, Deuce.
Yep. I asked that. Did you?
Because I know how they made that song. So yeah,
Well, I was.
that was
thinking
his
about
audition. Was Deuce.
Did you get that big Gene Simmons vault? You seem like the kind of guy who would do
No.
that. I mean, it was cost a fortune, but he had the demos that the Van Halen brothers played on.
I've got 'em.
Yeah,
Right behind me.
I was thinking of leads and like, oh yeah, that's right. He had before they got famous, they played on some tracks.
He bought David Lee Roth his first pair of leather pants.
Really?
Yep.
That's cool.
M.
That's
All
such a
right.
funny story.
Name one other band Eric Singer played in before joining Kiss.
Fuck. Black Sabbath, Lita Ford. Did I get one of those right?
Two of them.
Was,
You want to go for the rest of them?
Eric Singer. By the way, nice guy. I met him when he played drums with Alice Cooper. We sat on the drum riser in Navy Pier
Oh,
before the
really?
show.
Well, Alice Cooper
Yeah.
and Badlands.
Badly. Yeah, Jakey Lee's band.
Oh yeah, that's a cool band.
Yeah, right. This is your last one. Hit me.
All right. Oh shoot.
Stump the Trump. There weren't these
See,
chips.
now I have to find because some of these I'm like, okay, I don't know when this was printed, so this may or may not be accurate.
Doesn't
What's
matter.
Ace Frehley's wife's name?
Oh God, I know his first one. I know his daughter's name. Oh, this must have been. Oh man.
'Cause isn't he? He's recently gotten married. He's not married right now, is he?
He's awesome.
So we're gonna have to.
I know. I love Ace Frehley.
Yeah, I'm here with my girlfriend.
I'm trying to.
I went to a book signing with Ace Frehley, and I got him to
Downtown?
sign- yeah,
I was there.
I got him to sign
Books a Million.
Yeah, I got him.
I
to,
was
you
there,
know, like in
man.
Phantom of the Park, where he would only go I got him to write that when he signed it.
Oh God, that's too good. I'm just trying to find the next stinger to play.
Did we ever get his wife's name?
No.
His first wife is Jeanette. His daughter's Monique.
Yeah, that's what your card has. Is Jeanette.
He's very divorced since then. So, all right, and you get the last one, and then we're gonna eat these chips.
We've done 3. I did 3.
All right, so really,
We're good. Yes, I did my 3. We're all
so
good.
you're fucking done, huh?
Yay, yes.
Ass man. These don't belong
up.
to me. I'm not the ass man. I think there's been a mistake.
What's your name again?
Cosmo Kramer.
Cosmo Kramer. You are the ass man.
Ass, titties.
No, I'm not the ass man.
Titties.
Well,
ass, titties, titties,
As far as
ass
the
and
state of
titties.
New York is
Ass,
concerned,
titties.
you are.
Ass and titties.
Ass man.
Ass, titties, titties, ass and titties.
Ass man. Ass man.
There's one red
Doctor.